Welcome back to Battle Keech. My name is Saif and I'm coming to you with another video. Today we are looking at a headliner by Reina the Ritter, RDR, taking on Brendan All-In Allen, who is coming off on a short notice kind of a fight. I think this was made about a month ago. So, RDR was initially slated to fight Anthony Hernandez, which I actually absolutely loved. Anthony Hernandez has been on a terror himself, so it would have been nice to see how that would have played out. But nevertheless, we have Brendan Allen coming in and kind of saving the night. I will start by saying I absolutely love the graphics for this main event. Nothing crazy, but the shadows. Just someone who appreciates art and photography. I think this poster is just beautiful. Okay, now let's go to the fight breakdown. We have Reina the Ritter with a record of 21-2, which is really impressive, guys. Taking on Brendan Allen, 25-7. So the first thing we gotta appreciate is the experience from both fighters coming into this fight. That is paramount. We currently have Reina the Ritter favored almost 2-1. We will take a look at the current odds. We have, minus 210. Reina the Ritter. So 2-1, slated ever so slightly moderate favorite coming in here. He's 35 years of age. Brendan Allen, 29. We have a 6'4" middleweight frame who looks absolutely huge for his weight class. And against Brendan Allen, 6'2", we have a significant 3-inch reach advantage for Reina the Ritter, which will play dividend if this fight stands to the ground. Reina the Ritter is an unorthodox and pretty sloppy type of fighter. He's not your traditional technical. He will loop punches. He will knee you down the middle. So that reach advantage is going to play dividend, especially when you have Brendan Allen, who is hittable. That's right. He is hittable. So that's something to consider. The striking volume, we have a current 3.85 to 2.95 advantage for Brendan Allen. And yes, I do like his output when he's patient enough, but I will be on a limp here or on the back foot and say that I don't like to the previous statement, which I said, and that he is hittable. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we have a striking accuracy for 73%. Reina the Ritter, and only 59% for Brendan Allen. So when that loopy wild shots go through, when that knee up the body goes through, which we saw against Robert Whitaker, the way Reina the Ritter beautifully implemented and systematically broke down Robert in that fight. This could play dividend, especially if this fight stays still. Stays on the feet. These two fighters love the ground game. So will we have the classical neutralization? I don't know. It's really hard to predict who's going to be able to impose his will. Brendan Allen already in the interview with MMA Junkie said that he wants to take this fight to the ground. He's not afraid to go to the ground, but if he does go to the ground, it's going to be him who's going to be directing or imposing his will. It's going to be on his terms. Is it going to happen? Only time, right? That's the only way to tell. Takedown accuracy, 41% to 27%. I will tell you this, in the beginning of the fight, especially in the first round, Brendan Allen, that's where he's the most dangerous. He comes out with a lot of power and he does take people down. He probably took down almost all of his all of his opponents in the first round. That's not a secret. His problem is, and the way my brother says, he gets overzealous. He does. He presents with moments of bad IQ where he will grab the back maybe ever so slightly and he loses balance and then he gets reversed. Or if he is on top with the ground or in guard position, there are moments where he tends to get overzealous, overreaches, overextends, gives up the arm where the other fighter from the ground can't pull him. use that as a moment of advantage and reverse. So I am worried about that as well. If I am backing Brandon Allen, submission attempt, we have 1.1 to 0.64. But I got to tell you, I believe, what is it? It could be more. Let's take a look. If we look at René de Ritter in his profile, he has 14 wins via submission. So that statistic is only viable in UFC. But look at this. Most of his wins are actually via submission. RDR is a submission specialist. Brandon Allen, again, no slouch on the ground, has 14 submissions of his own. So very high caliber fighters in the ground game. So that's established. They're striking. This is where it could play a major dividend. We saw growth and maturity from Brandon Allen in his last fight with Marvin Vettori, but we also saw that counter punching that was successful for Marvin Vettori, which goes back to what I said previously. Brandon Allen is hittable. And when you have this unorthodox, extremely wild, RDR swinging, it's going to play the dividend. Another thing to really appreciate in this fight is going to be the gas tank. And I believe, from what I've seen, the gas tank on RDR presents to be better than Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen is completely almost gassing out in his last fight, in his fights that are lasting longer than 3 rounds. We saw that in Chris Curtis fight, right? Where he was gifted. I backed Brandon Allen in that fight. I took it live, okay? He was gifted that split decision, in my opinion. He was gifted. And he was literally dying, gassing out, barely squeaking a takedown and control against Chris Curtis. That's not going to work against RDR. It really is not. And I have to be objective. And I might, when I was looking closely, that is a big red flag. Now, with that being said, I will tell you that I like the fact that Brandon Allen has been in Chicago training with Belal Muhammad. Say what you want, Belal Muhammad is a high-level wrestler. And maybe he's honing his craft. Maybe he's really dialing in. And at 29, he is on his peak mode. He is in his top tier where RDR is already peaked. He is a finished product. He can only maybe work on his strength and conditioning, but there's really nothing more he can learn and, develop. Brandon Allen actually has room to grow up until he's 35 himself. So we got to give the benefit of the doubt for Brandon Allen. The short notice, red flag. The gas tank, again, from previous fights, red flag. We don't know how he's going to present. We have a overwhelming, which scares me, right? Overwhelming 93% perception on RDR. And again, it's absolutely justifiable when you have a last minute replacement. I hate the word last minute, a short notice, right? It's been a month versus like a 3-month full camp. So, but he's been training. Like I said, he's with Belal. That's a good thing. With that being said, on paper, the pick is RDR by a very confident margin. I don't think 93% confident margin, but I would say, in my book, on paper, the pick RDR is about a solid 75%, which is, again, appreciable, right? You have to appreciate that. But you got to respect Brandon Allen. He's a dog. He has a dog in him. He's on his way up in terms of developing new skills, honing his craft. He is peaking. You got to give him that. And there is a world where Brandon Allen comes out here and wins. Absolutely. So 93-7, I think that's really wide. The odds actually here reflect where I am, and I would say 75% might be even too high. If you if you want to be really generous here, you want to call a 70-30 initial. I would probably say that's fair. Minus 210. You know, it gives respect to Brendan Allen, which I like. And so the technical pick is going to be RDR. From the betting perspective, I don't have that confidence. I feel like it could be a bait trap, and I would say be very cautious because Brendan Allen has a pathway to victory. He can neutralize the takedowns here. Remember, RDR only went 2 out of 15 against Robert Whittaker. He tried and tried and tried, and he was only successful twice. So if Brendan Allen can neutralize the takedowns, keep it standing, and impose a much more technical, stand up here, or I'm just saying, get the fight to the ground, but on his terms, he can win this fight. Absolutely. There's no way. And I will be very transparent with you guys and say that I have been a Brendan Allen fan ever since I saw, I think his one of his earlier fights. I will be honest. I liked what I saw. I saw the technical wrestling. I want to say it goes as back as Anthony Hernandez when he lost to him on the regionals in LFA. So that's the first time I really got to know Brendan Allen. I've been, backing him ever since. He's come through on a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he got knocked out by Chris Curtis in his first fight. Avenged that via a split decision gift, like I mentioned. But, he took out some good hype trains. He came through a lot of times for us. And yeah, I like that. So I am a fan. I haven't officially decided to back him. That could be maybe a live play. Maybe like, let me just go with it if I like what I'm seeing. But the paper pick, the technical pick is RDR at the moment. Let's see how the weigh-ins goes. I usually finalize my picks at the weigh-ins, and that's pretty much how I would break this down. And yes, it took longer than I thought, but those are facts, and facts speak volumes.